You guys, I just had the most random idea. What if I let the FIFA World Cup choose my watercolor palette for today? So, let's go. Why not? I put all of today's teams in a wheel and let's see who wins. Oh, Cape Verde. Alright, it looks like the palette's going to be cerulean blue, phthalo blue, Hansa yellow, and pyrrole scarlet. So let's get started. I've never painted anything inspired by Cape Verde before, and if I'm saying that wrong, I am so sorry. But I am leaning into the bright tropical colors and ocean views. Starting off strong with a light wash of cerulean blue in the sky, I wanted to establish that bright sunny feeling right away. From there, I moved straight into the sand using a mix of Hansa yellow and burnt sienna, increasing the concentration of burnt sienna in the shadow areas beneath the boats. Now I know I technically added burnt sienna and neutral tint to my palette, but I really needed a way to create those rich, convincing shadows and really push that contrast. And sometimes a painting tells you exactly what it needs. Once the sky and sand were completely dry, I could finally tackle my favorite part, the water. Cape Verde is known for those incredible turquoise waters, so I created a graded wash that transitions from phthalo blue into a vibrant turquoise by mixing in Hansa yellow. Watching those colors blend on the paper was honestly one of the most satisfying parts of this painting. I absolutely love the composition of these boats. The bright colors, the strong shadows, and especially the reflected light bouncing up from the sand creates such a fresh, sun-soaked feeling. Looking at this scene makes me want to hop in one of those boats and spend the afternoon exploring those crystal clear waters. For the white sections of the boats, I used diluted cerulean blue to suggest cool shadows, then selectively dropped in touches of Hansa yellow to capture some of that warm, reflected light from the sand below. It's a small detail, but it helps the boats feel grounded in the environment. Next came the pyrrole scarlet for the bright orange and red sections. While the paint was still damp, I lifted color in a few areas to preserve highlights and suggest reflected light. At this point, the painting was really starting to come together. As I worked through the details, I couldn't help but think about how creativity often grows within limitations. This entire painting started because a wheel landed on Cape Verde. I didn't choose a subject, and I didn't choose a palette, but sometimes having fewer options actually pushes us to create things we never would have made otherwise. I think faith works that way too. So often we want complete control over the direction of our lives, but God has a way of working through unexpected circumstances and limitations to create something better than we could have planned for ourselves. Some of the most meaningful growth happens when we just trust Him with the parts of the journey that we didn't choose. Once all the major colors were blocked in, I glazed neutral tint over the trim and shadow areas to increase the contrast and add depth. With just a few final details using a fine watercolor brush, including the custom paint job and hand-painted name on the boat, this piece was finished. I know this was a quick one, but once inspiration struck, I had to get this idea on a paper as fast as possible. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Rachel. I share watercolor painting, motherhood, and faith-filled creative living here on this channel. If that sounds like something you would enjoy, I'd love to have you subscribe and join our little creative community. Thank you so much for spending some time painting with me today, and I'll see you next week. Until then, stay creative, stay faithful, and stay rooted in grace. Bye, guys.